Welcome to The Scoop. We'll be looking at how the White Tower was a state-of-the-art Norman crib, which showed off the best of Norman culture.
Nope. 3 words. Battlements, arrow loops, Anglo-Saxon scared of massive tower.
Anglo-Saxon scared of massive tower is not a word.
Oh, some historian you are.
Look at the architecture.
Oh,
its
a
symbolic
military
power
castle,
is key.
symbolic
What are you
military-
wearing?
what are you
Put
wearing?
makeup on.
It's for
Why
the
are you hat
military-
indoors?
military-
Sorry about them. They raise a good point, though. How did the White Tower function under the Normans? Let's get the scoop.
Zippity scoop da, zippity day. But how did the White Tower really function under the Normans? What was it used for? Nowadays it houses the royal armouries, fancy pants warders and tourists who definitely think they saw the Queen walk by just now. But back in the Norman days, it would have been home to absolute units, like this guy. You were a soldier in the White Tower, and can I just say, you are looking great.
Oh, stop it.
No, I mean it. I never give out false compliments. Do you have Insta? No, of course you don't. Talk us through your daily routine.
Well, firstly, I might get some new weaponry from the White Tower's craftsmen, you know, Fletchers, bowyers, blacksmiths, people like that. Then I go up on patrol on these high-level walkways, looking out for anything dangerous or unusual.
And what would you do if you did see anything unusual or threatening?
See it, say it, shoot it.
Oh my. And we might need a new intern. While we clean up here, Mindiana Bones is live at the White Tower.
Thanks, Ches. Get a room, you two. It's not something the Normans would have said. Nowadays, we expect rooms to have specific uses, such as sleeping in or dining. Not so with the Normans. These sockets were used for bars that went across great wooden doors, blocking off or opening up these archways, meaning the space could have a whole range of functions, from banquets to councils to sleeping quarters.
Everyone loves a banquet. And where does the food come from?
There was likely a kitchen in an outbuilding, and the food was carried over to the White Tower up long spiral staircases, meaning the food was probably cold by the time it arrived.
Sushi.
Not sushi.
Thank you. Culture kid, Lucian Dursley.
Hiya! Let's be real, kids. The White Tower's style reminded everyone they were in an expensive building which boasted the latest fashions in Romanesque architecture. Take a look at these beautiful rounded arch windows and columns inspired by ancient Greece and Rome. You want more gold? I've got gold for you. Take a look at the sloping design of this fireplace, designed to keep the room toasty and take the smoke outside. State-of-the-art features like these suggested Normans were interested in what it would be like to actually live here and receive guests and dignitaries.
No, you've missed the most important bit, Dursley. This fireplace leads to multiple chimney openings on the side of the building, which meant that smoke came from loads of places from just one fire. And why? Because of those clever Normans and their military brains. All the smoke deceived the Anglo-Saxons and made them believe that there were more soldiers inside. Bish, bash, bosh!
Well, yes, there are multiple chimney openings, but that's not a military feature. All that smoke made the tower look luxurious and expensive and increased its symbolic power.
Rubbish! You only get symbolic power from soldiers threatening to massively own you if you mess with the Normans.
Can you two try and agree on something, please?
No.
Oh boy, they're annoying. Like biscuit crumbs in bed or my unshakable despair. Time for our next guest. It's the son of William the Conqueror and second Norman King of England, William Rufus. William Rufus or King William II?
Call me whatever, man. We're chill.
The year is 1100. The White Tower is nearly finished after hefty construction. Are you looking forward to moving in?
Yeah, I mean, I've been staying in my palace at Westminster, so I haven't really seen it yet, but it's gonna be mint.
What's the mintest bit? Give us a hint of mint.
Right, okay, so we've got all mod cons, like garderobe toilets on the northern and eastern sides. We've got our own well, which is, well, good. That was a joke.
Great joke, Your Majesty.
Whatever, no worries. These sweet-looking niches by the fireplace are like, ooh.
Oh, lovely. And what are those niches for?
They're like cupboards, shelves for candles, little mouse house, dunno.
And the hall we're looking at here possibly served as private chambers, and it's just next to the chapel. Why is that?
Oh yeah, I like to get to chapel as often as I can, man. Get my fix of holiness, keep the church people happy, because they've got a lot of, like, money and power.
You had a few run-ins with the church in your time, didn't you? Arguments with archbishops, taking the church's money for yourself.
Oh, I see. The mainstream media is spreading lies about the little guy.
You are literally a king.
This interview is over by the face of Luca.
Crying shame. But now he's gone, the scoop can exclusively reveal that William Rufus didn't enjoy the newly completed White Tower for very long because he died in a mysterious hunting accident in 1100. His younger brother Henry seized the throne and locked up Rufus's right-hand man, Ranulph Flambard, in the White Tower. So, at the turn of the 12th century, the White Tower fulfilled a whole new function, for which it would become famous, as a prison. Now, a final report from the White Tower.
Power. Hear that? Like a symbol, symbolic.
Hey,
has a
look.
meaning behind it, you know?
Look, you two! You have both been a total nightmare today. Apologise to each other.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't hear you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You can have different historical interpretations of this 11th century building and not get at each other's throats, can't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. The White Tower served as daily living quarters, a meeting place, a military fortress for defence and control, a status symbol of Norman culture, and the site of an uneasy alliance between the monarchy and the church. But what do you think of all of this? And which do you think were the most important functions of the Norman White Tower?
King William Rufus, lying dead in a forest. This sounds like a job for the Scoop's premier and only detective, Franklin Detective.
No, we don't have time. Oh, thanks, Frank. Now I won't have time to do a catchphrase.